What do you think the greatest threat to humanity is at the moment? There are some things that aren't likely, but we should worry about. Nuclear bombs and bioterrorism from nation states or terrorism. Or a big pandemic. This is the 100th anniversary of the Spanish flu, and if it came back, the amount of travel would make it spread faster than it did last time. Uh-oh. Did somebody say memes? How's it going, everybody? Fat Loser 69 here. How's it going, everybody? Fat Loser 69 here. I can't keep a straight face and say it. How's it going, everybody? Blue here, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Last week we did Aged Like Milk, so this week we are doing Aged Like Wine, which is the opposite, as you might be able to tell. It's memes that predicted the future, and well, yeah, that they predicted the future, or you know, they were a post made in the past that suggested something could happen in the future, and then it did. Usually good things, but sometimes they are not so good things. So yeah, we're gonna have a look at that. White people will be like, this is my son. Holy shit. He predicted the Elon Musk thing, guys. I've seen loads of stuff going around, people talking about how, you know, oh, it was actually like code and his name is Kyle or something, but I haven't actually seen Elon Musk or his wife confirm that yet, so it's still up in the air. If that is his real name, you gotta feel bad for the guy, because he's gonna be the most bullied kid in school. Be prepared! There is a small chance that our horrendous leadership could unknowingly lead us into World War III. This was posted in 2013, a few years before he became president and started throwing around insults to random world leaders. So, uh-oh, Trumpy boy. I bought this last night. This is a total game changer. Internet fame, here I come. Wow, when you see the birth of a true internet legend like this, it means, you know, it is, you watched history become history. Anti-vaccination comic from the 1940s. History repeats itself. Anti-vaccinationist, faddist, Mr. Careless, and anti-everything. Misinformation, smallpox. Yeah, this is just definitely exactly what's happening right now. If you replace, I don't know what faddist means, but if you replace that with 5G conspiracies, then this is basically just the exact same that it was back then. Met a really hot girl who was half Japanese, half Filipino. I think I ruined it by constantly calling her a jalapeno. First of all, that is amazing. Second of all, update, we got married. That is awesome. I am so glad that worked out. I love that. That is great. Dude, I just realized that the light in here, whatever is going on with my camera, I'm gonna have to turn this down in post, but for some reason, I just look really sunburnt. What is up with that? Man, I need a proper light. I need a proper box light, and I need a decent camera, but that's not coming until after I get a microphone, so you're just gonna have to deal with tomato blue. Waiting for the sales of Corona beer to fall down, because some stupid people will relate it to that. And then it happened. And then it happened. 1820, 1920, 2020. This is a pre-meme. You won't get it until this summer. Good luck. Oh no. Is this aged like wine, or is this aged like milk? Because just because it's true doesn't make it a good thing. I think I saw an argument, people were saying like, it was, in fact it might be in this video, maybe I shouldn't spoil it. Yeah, it's later on in this video. I won't spoil it. Around 2015, Americans will realize that it would be much easier to change their standard of beauty than to lose weight. From that point on, we will embrace our indulgent lifestyles. Gyms will close, fad binge books will rule the bestseller lists, and singles ads will end with the phrase, "Yes, fatties." I think this was from the 2004. I mean, it was true, and this is going to be probably an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway because I think it needs to be said. There is nothing wrong with body positivity. That's the controversial part of this statement. There isn't really anything wrong with body positivity, but the issue comes in to people go, "Oh, I'm happy with my body, therefore I am not going to try and improve." People glorify unhealthy lifestyles by saying, I'm positive with my body. And I mean, you should never be self-conscious with your body. You just be happy with what you have, sure. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't strive to be healthier. Being fat is unhealthy, and we shouldn't be glorifying a lifestyle that is about being fat and being obese, because that's not good for you. That can lead to earlier deaths, it can lead to diabetes, it can lead to other issues, and you shouldn't strive to be content with being overweight. You should always try and improve yourself. So sometimes body positivity does more harm than good, because people just go, "I'm beautiful as I am, therefore I shouldn't try and improve myself." And that's where the issue lies. Health experts recommend standing up at desk, leaving office, and never coming back. And then the coronavirus hit, and this became a reality. Why do I look so pink? Get some air in here. Hopefully you won't have to listen to all the kids outside screaming like there's a quarantine on, you're supposed to be inside. This aged well. Yes, it is. 2013, that's Tom Holland, right? On what role he would like to play. Maybe Spider-Man in like 10 years time, maybe. This one, that's pretty wholesome, you know? When did Civil War come out? Like 2016? So 3 years later, like it wasn't that long till he got to actually play Spider-Man. That's pretty cool. And to be fair, I haven't seen Far From Home, but he did a pretty good job in Homecoming. So, you know what? Kudos to you, Tom Holland. You're, what, the second English Spider-Man in a row? That's interesting. Why do we have so many English Spider-Men when he lives in New York? The fact that there are warnings like, "Do not drink on bottles of bleach," makes me realize that Donald Trump can become president. And then he did become president. And then 4 years later, a pandemic happened and Trump went, "Hey, maybe bleach can help." Trump is literally the reason that they need to put "do not drink" on bottles of bleach. Pro fighting tip: sneeze on your knuckles before a fight in order to inflict poison damage. In times of a pandemic, there is no greater weapon. People who are already in the 1st of January 2020, what is going to happen so we can try to prevent it? The sun disappeared, all the stores closed down, people locked themselves in their homes, the world is surrounded in blackness and it's cold outside. Send help. How did they know? It's not cold anymore, it's getting warmer. I don't like the warm because I live in England. I live in stupid England where nobody has air conditioning, nobody has any precautions against the heat. Our houses are made to retain heat, so everything just increases in temperature. It's dreadful. It's absolutely awful. I have a VR series going and I'm going to be overheating and dying every video from now on. If the Great Depression was so great, why doesn't it have a sequel? My bad. He predicted it 10 years in advance. Wild. Absolutely wild. Nailed it. Any 3D artists follow me? I got an Oscar-worthy short film idea to go with this image. Get at me. This one's really wholesome. I do really like this one because for anybody that doesn't know, Matthew A. Cherry is now a Oscar-winning director for directing an animated short about hair, basically, about people of color's hair and how they should be proud of their hair. Which is great, because in a world of racism, there are a lot of people out there that will be like, your hair should be straight and whatever. Like, why? Just let people have what hair they want to have. Obviously, I do go for what hair I want to have, hence why it's bright red at the moment. So I think everybody should be comfortable having exactly what style they want. But maybe that's just my opinion. Just imagine Donald Trump in the Oval Office facing a real crisis. We can't afford that kind of risk. Well, Hillary, you are absolutely right. He is now in charge of a country with like the leading cases of coronavirus. His reason for that? We are just more advanced at identifying it. Obviously, every other country has just as many cases, if not more, but we're just better at identifying it. It has nothing to do with how badly we handled it. The UK is exactly the same. Everyone outside of the UK, and people in it, like me, are very, very clear that the UK is handling this terribly. I mean, Boris Johnson the other day just said, oh, we're changing the stay inside order to stay alert. What does stay alert mean? Does that mean I can go outside? Does that mean business as usual? What does stay alert mean? It's not like I can dodge a virus if I see it coming. Blade Runner, November 2019. Reality, November 2019. I mean, to be fair, you could argue that the Cybertruck was inspired by pop culture from, you know, that era. You could say that the reason it looks like this is because he wanted it to look like a sci-fi truck from the 70s, 80s. So it's very plausible that the reason it looks like that is because of Blade Runner. I mean, why not? And here's the image that I mentioned earlier that I didn't want to spoil. What happened was so bad, it aged like milk. What happened was accurate, so it aged like wine. Yeah, I mean, where do you categorize these? Was it aged so badly that it's aged like milk, or was it true, so it aged like wine? I don't know. That's why we've ended up with so many awful but true memes. This is the stupidest day in American history. A record that will be broken by every subsequent day in American history. I'm assuming this was like right post Trump being elected. And you know what? Just everything went wrong since that day. Oh, but the worst part is it wasn't even just America. I mean, England went downhill from that point onwards as well. We left the EU. We ended up with idiots in charge of our country. We are entering an economic crisis. So politics is going pretty bad wherever you live, it seems. Hoping someone builds a time machine for Steve to go back and dance with Peggy. I'm crying now, okay? Bye. Well, boy, are you in for a treat when you discover that that's exactly what happens. Spoilers to anybody that hasn't seen Endgame. I also haven't seen Endgame, I just know what happens, and you know what? I really cannot be bothered to watch it. The Avengers movies are so much effort to watch. Don't at me. This is a meme from the future you wouldn't understand. How did they know? How did they know? Toilet roll, man. It's back in stock now and people are trying to return their massive stocks of toilet roll and they're not allowed. And I am so glad that they're not allowed. Thank you for watching, guys. That's about where I'm going to end the video. Hopefully, this might be a video that doesn't get demonetized. Wouldn't that be great? Imagine if I could upload a video that didn't get demonetized. That would be wild. Anyway, if it does get demonetized, and if it doesn't, if you want to support me, I have a link to a Patreon down below. Currently nobody's in it, but you know what? That's to be expected. My channel's tiny. So maybe you could be the first. Who knows? Another way to support me would be to share my channel, because at the current size of my channel, and with the rate that stuff gets demonetized for no reason, YouTube's algorithm just doesn't spread my content around. It just goes, nope, no, he doesn't deserve it. So if you spread my content to a friend, then that will support me immensely. I mean, if everybody that watches this video sent it to a friend, then that would double the amount of views I got. And then if all of those sent it to a friend, it's an exponential growth, you know? I mean, you'd by no means have to do that. It's just a suggestion that would help me out. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.